Next guest was in yesterday's hearing on Apple's App Store competition. Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn is with us this morning. Senator, you're saying that Apple is cozying up to China. I agree. But they've got to do that because they need their China business. They can't afford not to cozy up with China, right?
Well, what we have learned is that Apple has two different standards for doing business. There is one standard that they have in the United States. There is a different standard they have when they are in China. You know, what we have seen Apple do is oppose conservative constitutional provisions, things that are like states setting the time, place, and manner of elections, and conservative principles like voter ID. But yet they refuse to stand up to the communist Chinese and the human rights abuses or the genocide that they're carrying out there in Xinjiang province.
What are you going to do about it?
One of the things that we're going to continue to do about it is to keep the pressure on these U.S. companies who relish having freedom, free people, and free markets here in the United States, but then they speak out against good, solid constitutional policies and governance. And then what do? Then we're calling them out when they manufacture their products in China, when they are cozying up, if you will, to the communist Chinese so that they get a lower cost on their products, and then also they get access to that China marketplace. I mean, Stuart, we've seen the same thing with the NBA and how they have worked with China TV and don't want to talk about what they have revealed. We've also seen what has happened with other companies that are here in the U.S. where there is merchandise that is manufactured using slave labor from the Uyghurs, which is the Muslim minority population in China. And they are slave labor. They are housed in concentration camps. The communist Chinese are trying to eliminate this ethnic minority.
I don't hear much these days about China and what happened with the origins of COVID-19. I don't see this administration pinning any kind of responsibility or accountability on China for that, do you?
Well, they are trying to run away from that. Indeed, I had an amendment that I wanted to offer to legislation we're going to have before us that would call for an investigatory committee to actually dig into the origins of COVID-19. How are we going to be able to fight against other coronaviruses? How are we going to be able to prepare ourselves for a future epidemic or another pandemic? And we get a pandemic about once every 10 years or so. How are we going to be able to do that if we do not know the origins of this?
Fair point. Come back soon, Senator. We want to hear more on your views on how to deal with China. Thank you very much indeed. Marsha Blackburn, Senator. Thank you.